Where do you think the industry is going in regards to in-person versus, right? And it doesn't have to be versus, but in-person and like online training. And then, for those who want to do well in the online or want to get into the online, like what does that start to look like? So first off, like how do you see that? How do you see the industry continuing to grow with both of those things? Do you see, is in-person training dying off? Is online everything? Like where's your head at with that whole conversation?
Well, I don't think that there's going to be too much of a change as far as the demand for in-person training, especially in a busy metropolis like one that I live in, for example. Like I just there's a rise of AI and different apps and so on that you could use for self personal training and for the motivation and so on. They're popping off. They're really, really doing well, and that's great. But I don't think that that's going to usurp the importance of personal training with an in-person tactile coach who's be able to get their hands on you and adjust you physically in order to get you into the right technique and position, to give you that live feedback and all that sort of thing. And online coaching is the next best thing, but again, it's the next best thing. It's not the first option. Now, it's a viable option for somebody who might be fairly experienced with working out, knows the basics, is more in the intermediate phases rather than the complete novice phases. There's utility in doing online coaching, and that comprises 100% of the clients who contact me. They already know a thing or two about working out, and so they're trying to get from us from one certain level to the next certain level, right? Now, I wouldn't take a client who has no idea what they're doing in the gym and try to train them online because it's too impersonal. I need to be there, and I'd probably recommend somebody in their city, if I could, that they can work with in person, if they can swing it financially as well, right? Because obviously in person is going to be more expensive than online coaching 9 times out of 10. So with that being said, I don't think that the value or the demand for in-person training, especially in a multi-generational city, is going to be diminished at all. There are a lot of older folks. There are a lot of people. Don't forget, like I'm millennial. We're the same kind of age category where we're like a little bit younger in the big picture compared to, a lot of people who are, 50, 55, 60. Like there's just so many people out there who aren't all with it when it comes to Instagram or getting the tonal system or getting an AI app or getting all these things, getting on a Peloton and doing those kind of things where they're confident enough, or doing online coaching where they have all the knowledge or have enough knowledge to go and do a virtual coach. No, they're going to need that help because, yeah, they've been sedentary for a long time. They don't have that knowledge. This industry might be on the newer side to them as a whole in the first place because, let's face it, since the year, I don't know, let's say like 1995, I don't care, right? Since 95, maybe somebody was already 35 years old in 1995, right? And so when they're contacting you, like that's sort of past them, right? Imagine a brand new space or brand new industry or a brand new space of the economy opens up when you're 35 years old. How much attention are you going to be giving it in terms of getting as much knowledge as you can at that time? Well, you're not really in a place in life probably to really devote that much time to learning about it compared to if you were 19 or 20 or something like that. So now you're going to try to want to have especially if you're used to doing things a certain way, might I add. So now you're going to try to want to have a physical expert there to show you what to do, how to work out, how to exercise, and so on. And so that's a gigantic demographic of people that we should always be kind of after, because I'll tell you, they're in need of the help. They don't only want the help, but they need the help too. A 21-year-old person who's trying to get big, they want the help, but don't really need the help comparatively speaking, right? They're younger, they're not broken, they're pretty healthy, they're this, they're that. It's not quite the same conversation we could have. And their goal is much more of a, let's say it's a little bit more of a superficially oriented goal. I want to get bigger, let's say, right? Or I want to deadlift 3 times body weight instead of 2 times body weight. Those kinds of things you might do more frequently. With a person who's 65 years old, they say, listen, it hurts when I get out of bed. They say, I can't even play with my grandchildren because it's a chronic pain. Oh, my neck is always killing me, my back, blah, blah. And they'll go on like that. They need help because they're weak and need to get stronger. They need these kinds of pieces of advice and help and technique. And what are these movements? What is a deadlift? How are you sure it's not bad for me? These kinds of things are the conversations you're going to be having with the demographic in that category a lot more frequently than the 21-year-old category. And so from that, I think that it's very important that personal training stays around And I think the personal training will stay around because there's too big a contingent of people who need it.